This is in memory of James Partridge. About the same time we all went into lockdown, I was asked to narrate his biography, Face It. He was a remarkable man who first came to my attention in 2009 when Channel 5 invited him to read their lunchtime news, a newsworthy event in itself, because James still displayed all the disfigurements and scars he had received in a fiery car accident while still a teenager. In a world replete with polished television hosts and presenters, his week-long stint as a TV newsreader was a challenge to everyone who sees visible imperfections as a source of repugnance, shame, or unworthiness. This was the dismissive attitude James Partridge met from the day he left hospital after the first of the many operations he was to endure. But he was not the sort of man to hide his scars or himself in the shadows. In 1992, James founded Changing Faces, a British charity which supports and represents children, young people, and adults around the world who have disfigurements to the face, hands, or body, whether from birth, accident, injury, illness, or medical episode. It campaigns to change public opinion and to combat discrimination, and to help and support those who present a visible difference. His efforts brought tens of thousands out of the shadows, offering instead hope, confidence, and fulfillment. James Partridge died in August, having made the world a better place to be simply human. If you want to know more about his life-changing work or find support yourself, go to the Changing Faces website at www.changingfaces.org.uk. If you want to know more about the man himself, read or listen to Face It. For the first 18 years of my life, up to 1970, I used the comment, "I'm not just a pretty face, you know," with no irony whatsoever. I lived in and with a near-perfect face, which I prized and used to my advantage. It was a face that was central to the high hopes I had for being successful in the perfect face world into which I was emerging as a young adult. Today I use "I'm not just a pretty face, you know," very deliberately, precisely because of its irony. Usually it's when someone appears to praise me for something. I'll surprise them, disarm them even, but in a gentle way. "Not just a pretty face, you know." I lost that near-perfect face in a wet December night in 1970, forever. That moment was the start of living with it, as I called my very not-perfect face. I had to face it. I'd blown my chances completely. I could have zero expectations of anything good. I didn't want to face it at all. Face It tells how eventually, after much pain and angst, that changed. Now, 50 years on, I live with my very distinctive face with pride. It's a hodgepodge of scars, skin grafts, and weird asymmetry, thanks to brilliant surgery. I even often say, again with much irony and stroking my chin, I'm very attached to my face. And that surprises some people, because our global society has become ever more obsessed by perfect face thinking. Without great looks, you're destined for failure. And my smiling is also a surprise to some. How come?